กลับมาพบกันอีกครั้งในเวทีฟอรัมนะคะในงาน Startup Thailand and Innovation Thailand Expo 2020 นะคะกับฮันนี่ชลพันษา นเวล่าค่ะเรากลับมาพร้อมกับธีมนะคะ Touchless Economy and Trust Society นั่นเองนะคะซึ่งเวทีนี้ก็พร้อมที่จะอัปเดตแล้วก็มาวิเคราะห์ในระบบเศรษฐกิจใหม่และการเงินรูปแบบใหม่นะคะที่เรียกได้ว่าจะส่งผลกระทบต่อคนในยุคนี้อย่างก้าวกระโดดไม่ว่าจะเป็นเทคโนโลยีแพลตฟอร์มต่างๆนะคะเพื่อวางแผนให้ชีวิตปลอดภัยแล้วก็ต่อยอดไปในแง่มุมต่างๆนะคะทั้งเรายังมี Case Study ที่น่าติดตามจากประเทศที่วางแผนการใช้นโยบาย Touchless Economy มาสร้างรากฐานเศรษฐกิจใหม่นั่นเองนะคะและท็อปิกต่อไป
in Thailand. We are very honored to have the keynote speaker, Mr. Prin Panichapak, Deputy Leader and Head of the Economic Affairs team from the Democrat Party. The floor is yours. Thank you very much, NIA and Startup Thailand, for giving me the opportunity to share my perspectives today. When we look at the modern days economy, you can see various changes that are taking place. You have heard over the today that some customers have disappeared. At the same time, there are new groups of consumers that are blooming. We also talk about the digital transformation that is taking place. So the question is, who in an organization or in Thailand that will have the responsibility to drive the digital transformation to make it real? Is it the role of the chief executive officer or CEO of a company? Will they be able to achieve the success within a year or two in the midst of the influx of technical innovations? But if you look at the corporations around the world, they may not be able to use technology to drive changes or bring about increased benefits. Or is it the role or responsibility of the CTO? CTOs alone will not be able to accomplish this because they don't use the technologies to build on driving revenues or organizational transformations. But when we are faced with COVID or COVID-19, digital transformation seems to be able to take hold. Now, employees can work from home, #work from home, or WHS has become a reality. Everybody adjusted themselves and are able to work from home quite conveniently. And the National Innovation Agency is a good example. At the times of social distancing rules, staff are able to work from home, or conferences or meetings can be held virtually, and so decision can be made without travel across the border or across provinces. And even today's event, Startup Thailand, even though it has been organized for several years, this year is the first time that it is being organized on the virtual platform, and we have tens of thousands of attendees, virtual attendees. Many businesses that face stiff competition also see higher volume during the time of COVID. For example, food delivery at home, you can make orders from Grab, Food Panda, and they are able to drive the volumes. So these are some interesting cases. Or I've met with various farmers as a head of the economic team of the Democrat Party, and I'm also head of the agribusiness working group. I just came back from Nakhon Si Thammarat. These areas are very little impacted. I went to STxITE2020 district where we grow rice, Gokho 105, Mali rice. This is the high quality rice is grown rice has been processed and been stored for a long time, and new market opportunities are explored online. So we can see that produce from Thailand are now ranked quite high on the popular items on e-commerce platforms. It's being sold. They are sold in South Korea, in India, and in the U.S. So farm produce are able to be exported without any disruptions, and the farmers enjoy higher income as a result. So if we can ensure regular water, steady water supply, farmers will be able to continue with the planting and with the support from the government. And you can see that in Roi Et, the economy remains strong. Or in Sakon Nakhon, despite the fact that people may not be able to stay in one place together, may not be able to shake hands, but what's interesting is young entrepreneurs look at the new phase of tourism. For example, agro-tourism experiences that can be viewed virtually. Like in this exhibition, you can enjoy MarTech or other technology, 3D or 4D technology experiences. On top of that, when we talk about touchless, we think that we require sophisticated technology. In fact, it is a combination of combining the old world with the new world. We are very strong in terms of Thailand 0.4. What is it? It is the uniqueness in Thailand, Thai smile, hospitality, considering others as family members, and a strong sense of community. These are some of the key unique points. How can we add value to this strength and generate income for local communities? In Yasothon, for example, farmers form strong cooperatives, and they started to produce organic farm produce. In the past, they used quite a lot of chemicals, and there's a lot of debate over the use of chemicals in farm production. And it took 5-7 years for them to turn their farming into organic farms. They have to know more about how to avoid using chemicals or pesticides, how to manage the water better. And now that they have accomplished it, how can they verify that these products are organic? How can they build trust and confidence among consumers? So they have to rely on new marketing technologies and explore for online marketing opportunities, for example, online platforms. So the Ministry of Commerce and Agriculture are working together, and in the future, they will also have to join hands with the Ministry of Higher Education and the National Innovation Agency in order to apply new technologies or innovative platforms for selling farm products. No longer would they have to transport their farm produce to sales at the physical stores. And given the convenient and advanced technologies and logistic, drone technology has been utilized, can be remotely controlled to pick up goods from one place and then deliver it to another place. They may complain that, farmers may complain that in order for them to access touchless economy, drones, for example, are highly regulated. So one of the challenges is regulatory and mindset, how to think out of the box. So sometimes the government may think that passing new laws will facilitate and punish those wrongdoers. But with the multiplicity of legislation, it may create new obstacles. For example, farmer may want to use drones to transport goods from one location to another. In China, in India, that drone has been used quite a lot, but in Thailand, we we'll be able to do that with the streamlining of the regulations. Or during the time of COVID, we use cashless in shopping, in doing grocery shopping. But so we use wire transfer or online banking more. And some also turn to digital currencies. I believe in Ajahn Sonsi, who will also provide you with an overview of how digital currencies are used, like in China, where yuan currency has been digitized and used more. In Thailand, we have the interbank settlement or the back office systems to settle payments using blockchain technology. And in the future, we are developing the digital baht. So no longer the physical paper and coins, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, digital currencies that is widely used around the world and widely traded as well. Some Thai also got involved in this currency trading. And in the future, I'm sure that the Bank of Thailand, Ministry of Finance, the SEC, and the SEC will start to see these digital currencies are used more widely, and digital transactions are conducted very conveniently on mobile applications. You can buy, you can sell, you can call for servicemen to provide services at your home. So in the future, do we need to have a credit cards or cash in our pockets? In the future, these may not be necessary. At the times of pandemic, people are afraid that banknotes may be transmitting the disease. And at the times of the pandemic, SMEs and startups, one of the questions for these enterprises is funding and cash flow. What about finance companies? How can we ensure that they have access to adequate funding? So how can we create a climate of competition that helps small enterprises like social enterprises to grow and to expand their customer base and compete with major corporations? This is a process that government agencies as well as major companies have to provide support in order to ensure financing access. And one of the things that the Bank of Thailand has been doing is to maintain stability in the financial system. And they can do that very well. But at the same time, they will need to promote the development of financial system. And blockchain will help facilitate not only payment or settlement, they will also have to provide support for loan, for investment. And in the past, they use the trust system in order to provide credit. So trust economy is important, and JP Morgan provide loan to Edison because they trusted Edison was a well-known innovator and entrepreneur, and they had the social credit and the credit. The same thing to what is happening now. Trust is important in Chachoengsao. They have a community bank which provide loans to older residents who are kind, who pay back loans on time, who are honest. So all the boxes are ticked that these type of persona would return the loans. So regardless of the amount of the money that they take out from the bank. So how can we use these characteristics to be part of the credit scoring, and the system can be provided online and use blockchain technology to verify the data. What do we do when we go on shopping online, or do we pay for our telephone bills online, offline? So these are some of the behaviors that can result in our scoring. and it may be more important in term than the money or in your own pocket. So your characteristics that will ensure that you are a trustworthy person. And the system is not biased or prejudiced against one another. It's not favor one person against another based on your emotional attachment. And so this is the social credit score based on your lifestyle, your shopping behaviors, and your transaction behaviors over your life. And it's a transparent system whereby people can have access. So this is the so-called P2P or peer-to-peer lending. Some companies have already started developing the platform like JMart or JVC or JFincoin that can provide credit, and through which has initiated through wallet, which will be built on to provide credit in the future. So competitors for financial institutions or banks in a world where we do not have to meet face-to-face or in a touchless society, trust will be important. We may not be have to work together, but the interactions pre-COVID would be transformed post-COVID. And last but not least, AI, blockchain, big data, quantum computing, and Internet of Things or IoTs are now moving at such a speed, and we must be able to select how we use them to our benefits. But if you use this technology to create social division or to intensify conflicts, they can do that too. So what is required at this time is the internet governance. So meaning that cybersecurity agencies have to create and ensure trust and confidence from the public. We have to admit that at this time, trust and confidence towards government agencies is very low or at the lowest point. So how can we use modern technology in order to ensure the public can participate in the democratic government, and they can also take part in the decision making, especially in key decision making, and how can we also listen to their feedbacks and their opinions so that we can strengthen the creation of trust and build trust for agencies at the national level, the government, the cabinet, political organizations or independent organizations, so that or judicial organizations, so that these organizations have to rethink the way how can they restore confidence and trust. The Ministry of Finance are working on public procurement. Why don't you use blockchain to avoid or prevent corruption? Singapore has been using this technology for years to close all the loopholes for corruption. So how can we use innovative technologies to build on and enhance our financial and human capitals, and to create the trust economy? Of course, businesses have to strengthen trust if you want to sell products or goods to consumers. And how can you link up and send your key messages? So just by organizing events, you may not be able to transmit trust, but you may be able to use online mechanism, particularly blockchain technology, to help us restore trust and recreate trust. It may take time, but at the moment, the government has substantial data, and it is like a gold mine that has not been utilized. For example, like petroleum products, it has to be refined and add values turn them into petroleum products. The same, likewise, data that has been stored. So if the Comptroller General Department open up the database, and so that we can explore, examine data on procurement or on assets declaration, or how much value assets are held by people in power, that will help build confidence among younger people and among business community, so that we are sure that the society is based on rule of law. So technology is there, and it's up to the power that be and people who are decision makers to help facilitate the adoption and adaptation of those technologies, so that we can access this technology. But it's boiled down to the people who will have to make decision before technologies can be adapted and adopted by individuals and organizations or government agencies for the benefit of the Thai people. So at the heart of things, of building touchless society, as we say, the heart, the essence of building trust in our economy really still depend on people in power or people who are daring enough to streamline our regulations, and also depend on each and every one of us to use the technology with your own selves and then with your own organization. So you will have to have the courage to change and adjust. And for the security or cyber security, when you work with the touchless economy, coming up with KPIs is important. If you have the KPI on spendings and revenues only, the question is, these targets that are just quality based or quantifiable or numbers based, can we change the KPIs into quality based, or in terms of impact to society? The long-term returns would be higher. So if you just have quality KPIs in terms of returns or for the business owner or shareholders, you will only enjoy short-term returns in terms of profits and dividend to shareholders. You may not be able to take the next step in investing for the future to build your organization and to improve values that you return to consumers and to help build the touchless and cashless society and economy. So it's really depend if you have the courage enough to invest for the future, for the long-term growth. So it's really depend on if you can change your mindset. And you may take shortcuts actually. And you don't have to work by yourself or within your own organization and keep it a secret at all. In these modern days, lifelong learning and online learning is a real alternative, and you can learn across borders. You can look at examples in other countries. If they succeed, then we can also learn from them. Why do India has a lot of new innovative entrepreneurs. They dare to take up the new steps, dare to fail, and then succeed. Why India have CVC or venture capitals that invest in fintechs to a large extent, but why in Thailand finance industry seems to be lacking behind? So how can, if we want to establish a touchless and cashless society, our finance sector has been still left far behind. others. It's not just providing seed monies to potential startups. They have to disrupt themselves. They have to be able to have the courage to step forward and do something else. They shouldn't wait for others like TMB to introduce the zero fee. So in this new world, we have to rethink how can you add value or create value from the amount of data that you have. How can you use the data to reduce the risk in lending? Cooperatives may enjoy a certain level of returns, but the data that is held by farmers and the ministry also have a lot of data about farmers. And this data is important. How can we use the data to ensure that farmers have fair and equitable access to financing? And the right decision would be to provide access to this data and use this data so that we don't have to decide on who we can trust to extend the credit. So it's really taking the step, the daring step, to use that data to build really positive innovation. In Singapore, they use the data from the Ministry of Communication and transfer that data to private company to develop. Or Grab also use official data to develop information pen application. For example, the Kun Art Suriyapong Taptim Thae has already run the experiment with SCB and other organizations. So I said that it really depends on the core for building the touchless economy. We use less cash. We may visit bank branches less, but we will continue as human beings, continue to interact, to build relationships, and will continue to seek knowledge to increase income potential. So what do we do in this day and age when changes are moving very fast? The future has catches up with us. So if we do not move alongside, we may be missed the opportunity. So a good society is not on sale. So if we want to accomplish and achieve a good society, we have to do it ourselves. So we want to do that, we have to have open-minded and are ready to experiment and start doing it. Thank you very much, Kun Prin. Let me ask you a question. The role of a touchless economy post the pandemic, in what direction it will move? Well, I think startups are now thinking about new business models. They look at how they can service their customers. For example, because Kun Ton, owner of Penguin Ichabu, Kun Pop, you can search, and both ran startups. One is running ticket booking, and the other run a shabu restaurants. And they were almost couldn't run any business when the pandemic took place. And they are able to sell the food for hot pot that you can deliver and eat it at home. And they also changed the platform for ticket booking and order the shabu or hot pot. So it's like a crisis is like a two-sided a coin. On one side, it will offer you opportunities. On the other hand, there are challenges. So these two represent the struggle. They fight, they fail, they fight, and then succeed, and use the crisis and turn the crisis into an opportunity. So the reason you have to find that opportunity. Thank you. And the next topic we will present at 4:45 p.m. will be on the future workspace. After this short break, we'll come back with the next topic.